with Marky, I would like to share with you a Persian recipe called Dolmeh Fil Fil, which is stuffed peppers. Well, stuffed bell peppers. So this particular rice and meat mix that I will be making, you can use it in any type of dolmeh. You can make it in Dolmeh Bademjan, which is stuffed eggplant, Dolmeh Kadus, which is stuffed zucchini, Dolmeh Gojeh Farangi, which is stuffed tomatoes. Now you will just kind of cook them slightly different, but you can pretty much use the same mix in other dolmehs. So the way that I like my peppers, I like mine to be really soft, like almost falling apart soft. If you prefer your peppers to be a little firmer, then only cook it for about 30 to 35 minutes. Oh, and another thing, if you are going to cook yours as long as I cook mine, which is about an hour and 10 minutes, please be very careful when taking them out of the pot and putting them onto a platter. You will see that I did lose a pepper. I mean, we did eat it, but it kind of fell apart. So that's the only downside of cooking the peppers as long as I do, or until they're really soft. So if you want to try to avoid that, cook it for about 30-35 minutes and they'll pretty much come out of the pot pretty easily and you can place them onto the platter. So, without further ado, let's get into the ingredients. For the meat mix, you will need half a pound of ground beef, half of a large onion or one small onion, rough chopped so that it can fit into a food processor, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of turmeric, and 1 teaspoon to 1.5 teaspoons of pre-minced garlic, which is an optional ingredient. This was half a cup of basmati rice that I cooked, and I will include the directions on how to cook this. This was 3/4 of a cup of dried yellow split peas, which I have cooked, and I will also include the directions on how to cook this after I go over the ingredients. This is half a large onion, or you could use 1 small onion chopped, 1/4 cup of tomato paste. This was 3 scallions, which I have sliced. This was half a bunch of parsley, which I have chopped. This was a container about this size of tarragon, and I have chopped that. And this is the dill weed, which was in the same type of container about like this, which I have chopped. Here I have oil, or 3 tablespoons of oil, and you can use whatever oil you have on hand: grapeseed oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, olive oil, whatever you have. 1 tablespoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of dried mint, and 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, plus more if you wish to have more of a sour taste. And with the mint, you can also use a container about like this and chop it up. I just didn't have any mint, and all the stores around here seem to be out of mint, so I had to use dried. And you will also need 1.25 cups of water. So for the cooking liquid, you will need 1 onion chopped, 2 tablespoons of oil, you can use whatever oil you have on hand, 1 tablespoon of turmeric, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, and this is 1/3 of a cup of tomato paste mixed with 2 cups of water. Alright, so I've gone over the ingredients, so let's get started. And now you're just going to mix. right, so now that I just washed my hands, I'm going to cover this with plastic wrap. And you can use this right now, but I think it tastes better when you leave it in the refrigerator for about an hour, or maybe even overnight would be better. So I'm gonna leave this overnight, and tomorrow I will make the Dolmeh Fil Fil. Here I have 6 bell peppers. I have 2 green, 2 red, and 2 orange. Now you can use whatever combination of bell pepper you like. You can use all green, all red, all orange, all yellow, whatever you desire. I just like using multiple colors because I believe it looks a little prettier. My only suggestion is when looking for bell peppers is try to find bell peppers that stand up on their own. So, you know, they don't roll around when you stand them up. Now you can either trim the stem off with a knife, or if you like to be extra careful, you can just trim it off with a pair of kitchen shears so that it's nice and, you know, you remove any of the brownness so that the pepper looks a little prettier. And then what you want to do is you want to take a knife and you want to go in at an angle. Don't cut straight across because when the pepper cooks, it will shrink and then the top will kind of fall into the pepper. So when you cut it at an angle, you want to cut it at about a 45-degree angle and just cut into the pepper. Okay, so I've cut in at an angle, and now I'm going to clean out the seeds. You want to take out the light green part, or the rib in the pepper as well. Okay, so now we have a nice clean base, and you know, I'll get the rest of those seeds out. Now what you want to do is you want to take the top and you want to trim it a bit. And then you want to put this back onto the pepper where you cut it. So now you have a pepper that you are ready to stuff. In this pot, I've added 3 tablespoons of oil. My heat is on medium-high, and now I'm going to add in the onions. And I'm going to cook these until they start to brown, which can take anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes. Okay, so now that my onions are brown, I'm going to add in the turmeric. And I'm going to fry this for 1 minute. Now I'm going to add in my meat mix. So you can see that there's juice from the onions. So you want to cook this meat until the majority of all of the juice has evaporated, which can take anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes. And my heat is still on medium-high. So it's been about 6 minutes, and as you can see, the liquid is gone. So I've added in the lemon juice, and now I'm going to add in my herbs. I'm going to stir that all together just to incorporate that, and then I'm going to add in the water. Okay, now I'm going to add in the 1 cup and 1/4 water. Stir that. If you want to have a sweeter dolmeh, like say if you're using all red and yellow and you know the sweeter peppers, then you can add in 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. I prefer mine like this, so I'm not adding in the sugar. So now I'm gonna put on a lid, and I'm gonna cook this for 10 minutes. All right, so it has been 10 minutes. So I'm gonna take the lid off. So after 10 minutes, if your meat mix still has moisture or water, then you need to cook this on medium until the water has evaporated. And for me, I have almost no liquid left, so I'm gonna add in the peas. And I'm gonna stir that. And now I'm going to add in the rice. And now you want to taste it to see if you need to adjust your seasonings. So now I'm going to taste this by putting it in a little cup. Alright, I think it's good. But for some people, they might want to add more salt, they might want to add more pepper, they may want to add more lemon juice, and as I said before, if you like yours sweet, then they'll add more sugar, so it just depends on your taste. But for right now, this mix is good for me. In this pan, I've added the oil and the onions, and I'm going to cook this until it begins to brown, which will take anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes. So now that my onions have browned, I'm now going to add in the turmeric. The 1 tablespoon of turmeric. And I'm going to fry this for 1 minute. Okay, I've fried this for 1 minute, and now I'm going to turn my heat off, and then I'm going to put this in with the stuffed peppers, along with the tomato paste and water and lemon juice. Okay, so now for the peppers. What I like to do is I like to season the inside a bit, so I just take a little sprinkling of salt and just sprinkle it on the inside of each pepper. So now what I'm going to do is stuff the peppers. So to do that, you just take some spoonfuls of the mix and just stuff it in. And you don't want to stuff it all the way to the top because you want the top of the bell pepper to sit. Alright, so now I'm just going to put the tops back on. Okay, so these are my finished peppers. This is a 5-quart pot, and now I'm just going to put my peppers into the pot. Okay, so now all my peppers, they fit in quite nicely. Now I'm going to add in the peppers. Kind of going to put it around the pepper, I'm going to put in the onions. I'm going to kind of put them around the peppers. Now I'm going to add in the tomato paste and water. I'm also going to add in the lemon juice. Stir that a bit. Yeah, I think I'm going to move this one to the middle, so there's a little more room, maybe. I'm going to cover this with a lid, and I'm going to cook this on medium-low Okay, so I actually cooked my peppers for about an hour. I wanted them to be a little softer. And so I'm not going to plate this now. I'm actually going over to my boyfriend's parents' house, so I will plate them there. I'm going to transport them in this container. Hopefully they don't fall apart. And I'll serve them over there. Okay, so I'm at the second location, and I just had to reheat up the peppers a bit so they are still cooking. And now I'm going to turn the heat off and place them onto a platter. Alright, that's it you guys. So I would like to thank you for watching Cooking with Marky. I hope that you try this Dolmeh Fil Fil recipe. I hope that you share it with someone. And until next time, Nushijun and Lavash Bread.